My boyfriend, now husband, and I were driving home from a dinner party on the highway late one Sunday night, August 14, 1988, when I decided I would like to get some shut-eye before the early morning. I undid my seat belt to get comfortable and distracted my husband. When he looked up, we were driving off the highway. He panicked and swerved back onto the highway but slammed on the brakes at the same time. The front wheels locked, before the invention of anti-lock brakes, and the car spun around and hit a telephone pole. Prior to impact, I was thrown against the dashboard, and during impact I was thrown back through the car and landed in the back seat. I don't recall the actual impact, I only remember seeing the car spinning. I deduced the rest from my post-accident investigations. The next thing I remember was my husband freaking out about the car, and he got out and came to my side of the car and attempted to pull me out of the back seat. I looked him in the eye and said, "Don't touch me." At that point, the pain overwhelmed me and I passed out. I recall hearing someone screaming, which I realized at a later date was me. At that point, I saw a number of cars stopping behind us and the people were all getting out and looking at me through the windows, but I was about 25 feet above the cars and could see myself in the back seat. I saw a police car arrive and the officer got out, come to me and shine a flashlight in my face. I saw 2 ambulances arrive at the scene, facing each other, obviously coming from opposite directions. The people that were surrounding the car looking were wearing turbans and saris. I felt hands under my armpits holding me up but could not see them. They were telepathically telling me that everything was going to be all right. Then, I was in a dark tunnel that had no light or air, but felt like I was traveling at an incredible speed. Suddenly there was a bright light that appeared, and as I entered it, I was in a beautiful pasture on the side of a mountain with flowers, butterflies, birds and soft gentle music. A light appeared in front of me but had no form. I vaguely recall other beings around this entity, almost like little fairy lights, and some larger ones, one being my grandmother, but she didn't speak to me, just gently smiled, and I felt an overwhelming feeling of peace and calm. The bright light telepathically spoke to me and let me know that I was safe and showed me my life events up to that point. I felt emotions so strongly while viewing this, but it happened so quickly, yet I felt every emotion. He then pointed to the heavens and they turned into a kind of projector screen, and he revealed awesome knowledge of the universe and all within it. I was told I would not remember what I was shown, but I recall the dumbstruck feelings I felt. He told me things would be revealed to me when the time was right. Since this happened, I've had amazing déjà vu pertaining to this experience. I was told that I must return, at which point I was looking at the lights in the ceiling of the ambulance. At one point, a few weeks after the accident, I was being transferred to a hospital for a nuclear scan. The ambulance attendants came to take me. One of them quipped, "Wow, you're so light, what happened to you?" I lost a considerable amount of weight due to my extensive injuries. I described the accident scene to him and he remarked, "Hey, I was there. I was one of the ambulance attendants from the other ambulance, the one that didn't take you. You really described the scene in detail." I mentioned that I saw the whole accident scene in detail. He then said, "That's impossible, you were unconscious." That was the first external indication that my experience was real and not a drug-induced dream. At that point, I had not received drugs, they were not administered until many hours later in the intensive care ward. Since my accident, I not only relearned to walk, my spine was crushed, but have no after effects whatsoever. I suffered a crushed heart, lung, all my ribs were broken and crushed 2 vertebrae. My back teeth were crushed and I suffered trauma to my neck that wasn't observed until days after my accident. I have since become quite sensitive to light, sound and energy. I often see energy waves and sometimes light coming off of people, especially from the tops of their heads. It almost looks like fire but in colors. I have vivid dreams and have dreamed events that took place at a later date. I believe that energy is the basis of all, and this is the true answer to all questions. I have recently given up my business and returned to school to become a medical practitioner. I feel the greatest value to my fellow man is to heal and help any way possible.